What's up YouTubers, Johnny DIY here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace or fix a leaking bathroom sink pop-up drain assembly. So this is going to be the same job whether you need to replace the whole entire assembly or you just have a leak right here under the flange. If you're new to my channel, do me a favor, click the subscribe and the notification bell so you can get all my new videos. Alright, let's get to this one. Alright, so maybe your whole drain assembly is rotted out and you need to replace it, or maybe you just have a leak coming down from under here, right, coming from this seal around here. Remove the pop-up lever. So there's this little clip right here, and you squeeze it together and then slide it back. The clip comes undone. Remove the pop-up lever, so we go ahead and loosen that up. That pulls right out. Then we can go ahead and remove our pop-up drain. Pull that out. Okay, get yourself a little container to put below the P-trap, and then we're going to disconnect this nut right here and then this nut right here. You should be able to do this with your hands, or you may need to crack them loose with some big pliers like these. Then we can go ahead and remove the P-trap. Okay, now we're going to try and remove this nut. If you have a metal nut like this, I suggest spraying this with some WD-40 the day before to try and loosen this up. Sometimes these can get really seized on here. We're going to want to use our big pliers or our big wrench to try and loosen it. Sometimes if everything's seized on here, you may have to grind that nut off, or if your sink top is removable, you can take it out and try and remove it that way. I think I'm gonna get lucky. It's seized, the nut's seized on there, but if I turn this whole assembly, if this flange right here isn't seized on, yep, I got it. They weren't seized together, so this part with the seal comes apart, and then the flange right here on the top comes apart. See, this piece has thread right here, and it actually threads to the inside of the drain right here. Okay, now we're going to want to clean this surface real well. A degreaser and a rag works really well to soften up that old plumber's putty. If you have one of these built-in overflows to the sink, it's a good idea to try and clean it out. I got some compressed air, and I'm just going to spray it out, and a bunch of debris just came out. Then I'm going to give it a final wipe down with some rubbing alcohol just to get it really clean and dry. Okay, if you're just fixing the leak, you can skip this step, but if you're replacing the whole drain, you're going to want to line up your new drain to your old drain, and then we're going to mark the length. And these plastic drains are really easy to cut with a hacksaw. Okay, now we'll go ahead and remove that pop-up from our new drain. Then we're going to go ahead and unscrew this top flange. Okay, now you've got two routes to seal this. Either tried and true plumber's putty or 100% silicone. Each has their pros and cons. And what silicone does is makes a really strong, almost like glue-like bond. But the bad thing is, it's very messy to work with, and you're going to want to wait 12 to 24 hours before exposing it to water. We're going to be using plumber's putty. We just grab a little bit out of it, put it in your hands, and you're going to roll it out like a snake. So then we just take it and we're going to wrap it around the base of our new drain and just pull off the excess. Kind of squish it on there. Then we'll just drop that down in the sinkhole and then kind of press it in there just so it seats a little bit. Then we'll take our new drain and we're going to thread it up. And we're going to want this part pointed towards the back for our new pop-up sink lever. Then we'll go ahead and tighten the large nut, making sure we keep it still centered towards the back. If you hold this bottom part of the drain, you can tighten it while keeping it centered. So get it as tight as you can, hand tight, and then we'll give it about a quarter of a turn with our large pliers. You don't want to over tighten this too much because this is just plastic and we have a rubber seal. We don't need to over tighten that. There we go. Then we can come up top and we can pull that plumber's putty. See, it just oozes out. You can save that. Then we'll take our pop-up and we want this piece right here to face towards the back, towards the faucet. That's what's going to hook onto our little lever down here. See, if you have one of these bent levers, it bends towards the back. Then we'll connect this piece to our pull-up rod. It just goes onto it. And then there's this little set screw that we'll tighten. And we just tighten that set screw just a little bit. Take this piece and we're going to slide the nut over the ball like that. Take the little locking clip and we're just going to slide it through one end. Then we're going to put it through the hole that lines up with this spot right here. Come back up here to make sure that it grabbed our pop-up, and it did. So then we can tighten this down all the way. This just needs to be hand tight. Then the clip will go on the end of the rod, so it sandwiches this piece between to lock it in. And we can test our lever up here. It's working. Then we'll go ahead and put the nut for our P-trap and then the gasket, making sure the taper of the gasket is pointed downward. Then we can reconnect our P-trap. Tighten those down. Those just need to be hand tightened. Okay, now let's go ahead and turn our faucet on and then pull our pop-up. Make sure that holds water. And then we can check under here to see if our drain is leaking. Looks good, dry as a bone. If it does start to weep a little bit, you can just give it another quarter turn or so and it should take care of that leak. Awesome, no leaks. Hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe and click the notification bell so you can get all my new videos. Thanks for watching Johnny DIY, guys. Keep on doing it yourself. Take care.